Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minerva Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it. Stand by and listen to the birds and the bees for a second because it's gonna be a hot morning. Stand by, folks, stand by. Get your coffee ready. Get your clothes ironed. We're getting to it in just a second. And good morning once again. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another morning edition of Keeping It Real. Today is Friday, the 30th day of April 2021. 30 days have September, April, June, and November. You remember that one? You remember that one? Well, just to let you know, today is the last day of April. Can you believe that, folks? Today is the last day of April. 4 months. 4 months have gone into this new year. Just the other day it was Christmas. Just the other day it was New Year's. Valentine's Day. Did we have a Valentine's Day? Oh, according to some people, Valentine's. I don't know where they learned that one from. Valentine's Day. I don't know what time is Valent. You know? Valentine's. It's no such thing. It's Valentine's. Tines. Pas times. Adan zot ka just fè mwen fache bon matin. Kade mwen about Valentine's Day. Ki sa ki Valentine's Day? It's Valentine's Day. Dang, damn it. Good morning, St. Lucia. Good morning to all St. Lucians. To everybody. Everybody who's listening to the morning edition of Keeping It Real. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning to you in Gros Islet, in Cap Estate, in Monchy, Lafayette, La Bonne, Desrameaux. Good morning to you. Good morning. Cacao. Good morning, Cacao. Babonneau, Plateau. Yeah. Morning, Plateau. Good morning, Millet. Good morning, Jackmel. Good morning, Roseau, Marigot. C'est pas pièce Marigot. It's Marigot. Dominique Yoka di Marigot. Good morning, Bar Saint Joseph. Yeah, good morning to you. Morning to you out there. Good morning to Bardeny. C'est français, vous savez, c'est Bardeny. Morning to Sarot. Laquamingo. Morning to Castries, Capitol Hill, Montfortune, Pavé Road, Menard Hill, Rock Hall, you know, Arundel Hill. Mwen hadou y vwe tout se plas sa tou, se moun la. Oh yeah. Morning to Boakache and Old Mon Road, Hospital Road, and all around the place, you know, folks going down south to Vieux-Fort and Labrie and Micoud, and Dennery and Oleon and Opicon and Richfond and Mont-Cacacochon. Yeah, there is a place called that, folks. Will you believe it? A lot of strange place names in St. Lucia. Morning to Canaries, and Flora Villa, and Anslare, Market Street. Good morning to you. Otabor, and Otabor Heights, and everything else. Good morning to you. Good morning to Soufouye, Font-Saint-Jacques. Morning to Sulphur City. Good morning, Jeraine. How are you? Good morning. Morning. And of course, not forgetting, did I forget anywhere? Choiseul? Choiseul. Choiseul Saltibus. Yeah. It's Bradley Town. Morning to Choiseul Saltibus. Salty. Is it a salty place? Saltibus. You know, folks, you know, let me keep it real with you all early this morning. You know, I've heard so many times about Saltibus. You know, we've all heard about Saltibus. Choiseul, Saltibus, Saltibus, Saltibus. You know, I've heard so much about Saltibus. I've never heard about Sweetibus. That got you up and alive this morning, didn't it? Yeah, I gotta shake you up a little bit. Good morning to you if you're having your early morning coffee. Morning to you then. Good morning if you prefer tea or you prefer something cold like me, juice or passion fruit juice, you know, make you more passionate. Or if you prefer some toloma, or if you prefer something else. Good morning to you if you prefer what? Quaker Oats. If you prefer what else? You know, there's this little thing, I gotta remember it. Somebody's gotta tell me. It's a little, it's like little tiny grains like sesame seeds in it or whatever. It's kind of like toloma. It's without the milk. I don't remember what it's called. But those of you who remember back in the day, pablum. Remember pablum? No, those who prefer the Horlicks. Horlicks is the big drink. You know that? You remember that one? Doesn't taste like it used to before anyway, if you can find it now. If you prefer your Milo. Oh, that was the thing. Milo. Fais un pot Milo, ba moi. or your, of course, your cocoa. Dite kako, your cocoa tea. Dite kako. Morning to everyone. In the diaspora, of course, they're there already, folks. They're there before you all on the radio. And of course, we're streaming live on the internet, live.skyfm.lc. And of course, also on Flow Channel 115 GVD TV, GVD TV. All local. And we're also on facebook.com/SkyFMSLU. We're also on the Keeping It Real Facebook page, facebook.com/Keeping It Real SLU. All one word. Folks, let me tell you something again. There's no such thing as a space in internet addresses. There's always something, some character, something there. Just so that you know that. So, Keeping It Real SLU. Facebook.com/Keeping It Real SLU or Facebook.com/SkyFMSLU. You notice when people want to put a space, they put either an underscore or a dash. That's right. Because the servers, whether they're Linux or Windows, for internet addresses, they don't read spaces. Just one moment you got a space there, that's the end. That's right, the end. Everything else after the space, it doesn't read. So you're most likely going to get the wrong page, or you're going to get an error. This page doesn't exist. Just first lesson free, okay? Everything after that, you got to pay me for your internet classes. So, topping off the list, I wonder who that could be. Germany. Well, top of the list is the USA, St. Lucia, Germany, whole pile from the US, New York City, Miami. You know, the usual crew. We have Barbados. We have a whole lot of people from St. Lucia. You know, a lot of people listen on their mobile devices in St. Lucia. Good morning to you in Barbados. Morning, Beijing, ma. Mom, Beijing, good morning, ma. Last night we had a lot of people here. At Cayenne, Martinique. Boy, I tell you, the numbers were phenomenal last night with Crossfire. Yeah, if you missed it, well, blame yourself. That's right. We had a lot of listeners online last night. I think we had an all-time high on the numbers, almost. Almost. We had quite a U.S. Virgin Islands, Jamaica. Oh, here we go. Some more Jamaicans just logged on. Jamalutions. Yeah, that's what they are. Jamalutions. Morning to you in London. Oh, hope you're listening. Good morning, London. Morning to you. Ah, yes. It's a quiet day today. Not as rainy as it was yesterday, although we still have the black clouds. Well, dark clouds. And I guess by now, if you're living down south, you must have heard about the landslide on the Bar de Lille. BARREDL''ISLE, Bar de Lille. And tomorrow is the 1st of May, May Day. May Day. Well, not that kind of May Day. It's a holiday tomorrow. And people are popping up saying good morning. Oh, good morning to you. Let's see what's happening on the Facebook side on this line here. I gotta clear this out there so I don't get confused. Yeah, let me do this. Select all. Mark as red. Fresh and free this morning. Okay, here we go now. I'm gonna get notifications for all the messages that are coming in or will come in on WhatsApp this morning. All right, it's amazing number of messages that come in overnight. Sky FM is some people are very discombobulated by all of this, but it's not our fault. We just, People just like us. Ah, eat your heart out. We have our first call. We have our first call this morning. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey, Roof. Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Great. It's lovely.
Well, I'm cool and easy as the wind blows.
Yeah, that's what you always say.
When a person is under the influence of alcohol or drug, the individual is convinced that he's doing what is normal and what is right, no matter how ridiculous his action may be. In the same way, the spiritual surgeon, God the Father, has said, the vices, in fact, is our enemy. They mess up the intellect completely and cause great damage to our thinking process and one's character. Living by the heart will not only give you heartache, but only a splitting headache. So have a great day.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Have a great day, too. Thank you for calling. Thank you so much. 4560931. That's our number here in the studio. Yeah. Why, it's amazing how people are up so early in the morning with us, you know, the loyal fans. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Norbert.
Morning, sir.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to open the innings that I did yesterday.
Well,
But nonetheless, a couple of footman points, if you don't mind me.
yeah,
Stealing just a little bit of your thunder this morning?
sure.
I hope not. Last night, I witnessed, well, I started taking in some of what I now dub the horror show. I dub it the horror show because more and more it's apparent that people opposed are hell-bent on descending to new lows.
Really?
It may have always been the modus operandi, but of late they seem to be descending new and new lows. But there are a couple of phrases that if you have a pen close by, I want you to grab quickly and write these down.
Yeah.
First one is, while the stars are falling in the hope of casting darkness.
I'll get it off the tape.
You get it off, yes. While the stars are falling in the hope of casting darkness, the torch keeps burning. Keep the light shining. The reason why that's important, and a quick catchphrase that needs to be echoed, is the lower they go, the higher we rise. There was an assessment of what happened in Forest there a couple of days ago, almost a week ago. And in that assessment, the horror show host called the church a dance hall with a few chairs. Further went on to say that there was no gun present. Well, I want the horror show host to know that the quality of the video, and he's a learned lawyer, so he knows that all too well, but there's an attempt to cast darkness. So hence we have to keep the torch burning to shed some light. He knows all too well that the quality of the video is so poor that it does not allow for any such determination as to whether there was a gun present or not. Not that I am or anyone is trying to determine that. He knows that. However, the quality of the video and the quality of the audio of the video, what it does allow is for everyone to see
To hear.
that Mr. Henry entered the church in an aggressive manner, further went up to the pulpit and approached Mr. Joseph, and the audio is clear enough that we can see his aggression, we can hear his aggression. Secondly, the aggression following, we saw Mr. Henry following Guy around the church. We saw Mr. Guy intentionally trying to avoid the argument, trying to avoid the confrontation, and basically moving around to avoid that sort of aggressive behavior. I think I find it's a bit too low to call a place where people gather. It could be under a breadfruit tree.
Yeah. Wherever, what does it say? Whether 2 or 3 or more of you are gathered?
That's where he is present. But again...
But you can have church in a dance hall anyway. You can have it at a movie theater. In fact, lots of church services and functions of the sort, masses, are held in auditoriums, are held in arenas and stadiums. So whether it's a dance hall, but you see, in St. Lucia, you have to understand the root, the origin of the word, a place papi show, the dance hall.
The lower they go, the higher we rise. The lower they go, the higher we rise. Thank you, Mr. Norbert.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. 4560931. This morning we gonna get a few call-ins for the time being. And we have our first caller. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real. Oh no, we're not taking any calls on that side today. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, morning.
Morning, sir.
You forget to mention, you said problem, you forget to mention cow.
I forgot to mention what?
No, the milk, din cow.
What? I can't make out what you're saying.
Din cow, the powdered milk.
Oh, Dan Cow.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Cow, that's right. Dan
Yeah.
Cow, powder and
That's what
Klim.
you reach upon.
Yeah, true. And Klim.
Yeah.
Remember, people
Yeah,
used to
Klim,
buy
yeah.
Klim in a clear plastic bag. You know, they weighed powdered milk in a
Yes.
clear plastic. Wow, that's right. Dan Cow.
Yeah.
And fern leaf
All
butter.
right, bye-bye.
Fern leaf butter.
Yes.
Going back in time a little bit. Thanks for that, caller.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Fern leaf butter. You remember that? Yeah. That's right. 6:31 in the morning. It's a Friday. And it's the end of the month, so if you're going to go to the bank today, it's going to be a bit of a holiday tomorrow, payday week. Oh, it's going to be a lot of action at the bank today. So if you're going to do that early so that you don't get caught in any remnants of rain. And talking about rain and the weather, you heard about that landslide at the Bad Lil last night or yesterday. And right now in Castries, it's 77 degrees, going up to a high today of 84. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Obi.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good.
Great.
I just wanted to tell you last night I listened to Richard Frederick, and he was making an excuse for Joachim Henry.
Well,
I just cannot understand, I cannot believe why it is so difficult for the Labour Party to realize that what Joachim did was totally wrong. And what I also realized from the video that you played the last time is that Guy Joseph practiced restraint. He never followed, he never responded.
Tremendous.
And yet still they're using the sympathy card for him. I understand that he is nobody wants to lose their child or their children, but I think what he has to do is just apologize and accept that he was wrong instead of using his son's death to justify what he did in the church. That's my contribution for the morning.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. And folks, I have a public advisory here from the Ministry of Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labor. Public advisory. The Badlil is closed. Badlil remains closed. The Ministry of Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labor advises the general public that the Badlil Road remains closed to all forms of vehicular traffic until further notice. This is in the interest of public safety as restoration works continue on a section of the road compromised by a major landslide. Drivers and commuters are encouraged to use alternate routes. The Ministry of Infrastructure appeals to the public and those not associated to the ongoing works to avoid visiting the area as it remains an area of high risk. Further updates will be provided during the course of today. And that is from Shannon LeBon, the Communications Officer from the Ministry of Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labor. Once again, folks, public advisory. The Badlil remains closed. Remember, it was closed as of 6 p.m. last night because of a major landslide in that location, and it washed away part of the roadway. And I will read that again for you. The Ministry of Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labor advises the general public that the Badlil Road remains closed to all forms of vehicular traffic until further notice. This is in the interest of public safety as restoration works continue on a section of the road compromised by a major landslide. Drivers are encouraged to use alternate routes. The Ministry of Infrastructure appeals to citizens not associated to the ongoing works to avoid visiting the area as high risk remains. Further updates will be provided during the day. So if you're going to the north, if you're traveling from the south, from Dennery, Micoud, Vieux Fort, if you're coming from Labriche Roselle and you're coming via the East Coast Road, the Badlil is closed. If you're going down to the south of the island, to the east of the island, the Badlil is closed. Alternate routes are encouraged. Well, that's your only option anyway. If you can take the helicopter, take it. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Norbert.
Morning.
I just want to say that right now with the situation at the Badlil, there is an opportunity for the boat owners, the crew, the boats who make tours to make some money.
Yeah, how much they going to charge?
They could pick up people in Castries and drop at Marigot, drop at Ancillary, drop at,
Well, you see, Kuala, I have a
areas.
question for you.
Yeah.
I like that idea. But in business, there's something referred to as, it just popped out of my head. You must have the size. Economy of scale, that's what it is. Economy of scale. And for that to be profitable, your boat must carry a minimum number of passengers for you to break
Yes,
even.
but I'm saying there's a lot of boats that made tours during the before COVID,
Yeah.
and some of those boats are packed somewhere. The boats which make tours to Martinique, such as the Express des Îles and the other boats.
Express des Îles is not St. Lucia owned.
It's not St. Lucian, but whatever boat like the Express des Îles that is St. Lucian,
We don't have any.
we don't have any.
No.
But what about the boats which make tours to Soufrière?
Well, you usually pay 120 US for that.
Well, they could, because of the situation, if the boats are packed somewhere not doing anything, there is an opportunity to negotiate somehow to
With
carry
whom?
people to and fro, from the south to the north, even, to Dennery and these areas. Now, it brings to mind that Sir John, when he came back into elections in his 4-hour budget speech, said that if we cannot go over the battling, we'll have to go under it.
And that's in the
That
works.
is the vision that the
Yeah.
man had for that area.
Yeah.
He perhaps he had already had the feasibility study then. That's why he said we will have to go under the Badlil. I also remember when he said that we will have to connect Masha to Bridge Street. I don't know if you can remember that. And people made all sorts of hurrah about that. And now I am looking back and I'm saying Sir John had a vision. And we must continue that vision. I'm saying to persons, it is the opportune time to give Alan Shastney and his UWP group the support to continue that vision. If you all don't want to support him after that election, well, fine. But, the vision is there, and I think he's there to carry out Sir John's vision. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's a nice idea to talk about the other boat owners, but I don't think it's financially feasible. Number one, I think they're going to be operating at a loss. The number, it's true to say that they're going to have business that they didn't have before, but the business is going to incur a loss to them because the cost of operating that is not going to be satisfied by 10 passengers or 15 passengers or 20 passengers when you look at how much the tours cost for the operations of that boat. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Mr. Norbert,
Morning.
you think if we had a bigger population, we'd have a better economy?
Of course, economy of scale, and if we had more people paying taxes, we'd have a bigger economy.
Because, that is why you find it is cheaper when you take a bus.
That's right. More people.
Than you take a taxi.
That's right.
Because a taxi only takes 2 persons.
That's right.
So that is why you find that a lot of people don't know that. They will feel that Barbados, people pay less for phone. Home phone.
You have more people.
But they have more people.
Yeah.
If
It's
you
just
have a
like when you buy
restaurant-
wholesale,
If you have a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And you're producing at least 20 plates of food, and another restaurant that's producing about 200 food, they'll be cheaper than you.
Yeah, sure.
Now, for you to make the amount they're making, that you have to bring the price high.
That is right, caller.
So a lot of people have to study those things,
Yeah. Yes.
People, a lot of people
Business.
don't know about those things. They
Finance.
just say blah, 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 blah. They have to study those things,
Yeah.
Because aircraft too.
Yeah. That's why airline tickets became so much cheaper and allowed the regular people to fly. I don't know if you know that expression, jet setters.
Yeah,
Back in the day, it was only rich people who could fly,
yeah.
And when you traveled, I don't know whether you had relatives who traveled to England, the whole family, whole generation, tout le monde, would go to the airport because when you fly, everybody saved and put money together for you to go to London or England or wherever you're going to. La Mewick to Canada. When you go, they don't know when they see you again. This
Yeah.
So
You
people
know
used to be at the airport crying like hell.
I find it's cheaper to fly far than to fly closer.
That's right.
Because flying far sometimes maybe have more people and the aircraft is bigger. Bigger, huh?
That's all part of it. Also, flying higher, you burn less fuel.
Yeah. So, but what about the Badley Road?
Yeah.
I think maybe the time has come in. The time has come for we to have a tunnel there. A tunnel?
Yeah. That has been the talk for a number of decades. And it is actively being explored by this government now. I think it's a major push by this government. And in the next term, after the elections, we'll see what happens with that. But that is a major objective of this administration.
That's where you have to have foresight,
Yeah.
Foresight.
Yeah.
See beyond.
Like the SLP referred to it as tunnel vision.
Another thing again, I observe, I look at cricket. You ever watch cricket?
Are you a cricketer? You just sound like a cricketer kind of guy.
Well, I love cricket.
Ah.
And I watch West Indies cricket. West Indies cricket has an attitude problem. The problem is not talent. It is just like you find, we go into politics too. If you find a few guys in your party has an attitude problem, it could affect the whole team, you know. You know that?
Yeah, that's right.
Attitude has a lot. No matter how talented you are, and you have an attitude problem,
Yeah,
it just affects the team, whole team.
yeah.
And the problem we had in West Indies cricket now, it was an attitude problem.
Mm-hmm.
One or two have an attitude problem, it just rub on the team. So we look at it closer, you know.
Yeah,
So you will find that attitude has a lot to do, you know.
that's right. That's right.
An attitude. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real, as usual. 456 0931. 456 0931. Give me a ring-a-ling on the tingling. And let's see if we have any messages here this morning. We have another call coming in. Good morning. You need to turn down
morning,
you need to
Dr.
turn
Rudy.
down your radio, please.
Oh, yes, thank you, yes. Yes, Pastor Rudy. I appreciate la prédication. Moi, just la raconter. Moi, nous tenons, c'est Juliana Pascal, moi, nous tenons, moi, forward là. Moi, appreciate very, 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 very much. La 10 prédication, je vais sortir. Because tout ça ou dit là, c'est la vérité.
Qui ça m'a dit?
Yes, l'église pas qu'à sauver personne. Yes, religion pas qu'à sauver personne. Ça qu'à sauver c'est l'amour. Because premier ça papa bon Dieu m'a demandé bien toute la prière moi. Moi il m'a demandé a clean hands and a pure heart. Et que moi c'est ça moi qu'a goumé, n'a fait et n'a demandé papa bon Dieu tous les jours. Si moi tu as pièce mistake, nous toutes nos CD, son CD nous tout ça nous fait record dans l'œil. N'a demandé papa pardonnez-moi pendant 3 fois et nettoyer ben moi pas quitter moi vinn devant. Là moi vinn pour juger et pour une pièce qui dirty m'a supporté. Papa nga remercie au pasteur Rudy nga complimenté. Moi plaisir, moi ba tout ça na ba wa because of ça ou dit là ou prêcher là bon matin. Nous ka comprendre c'est religion, c'est pas religion.
Man li de okuye Man li de okuye right number house of my pastor Rudy.
Merci, et merci. Bon Dieu béni all the time. God is good.
Thank you. Ma pastor Rudy. So, ou ka kote an lot station et ou ka kouye an lot isam pou mwen. But anyway, we always appreciate the good word over here. So nothing wrong with that. Good morning to you if you're in Lakwamingo. Good morning. Morning to you. 456-0931. 456-0931. Once again, folks, a public advisory. The Badlil remains closed. It's been closed from 6 p.m. yesterday evening. And that is because of a major landslide over there. Motorists and commuters are encouraged to use alternate routes. So if you want to come up, if you're in Choiseul, or if you want to come up via the west coast, that's Choiseul, Labrie, Soufrière, Canaries, Ancillary, you can come up via the west coast. But if you're Praslin and all the way down there, Dennery and Oleon and all of that, you can't come up the Badlil E-Block. You need to turn on your radio, please, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Morning. How are you doing?
Your nightmare, your day and night nightmare.
I think everybody's.
Good morning, St. Lucia. Good morning to Baradil Conway Darren Road. Good morning to my elderly statesmen. To Peter Joseph, to Michael Shasta, y'all are simply the best. Great minds. Good morning to Dr. Sharon, Salma George, and the frontline team. Keep up the work of excellence.
Caller, you know what? You know, calling so early in the morning, I think by now you owe me some pancakes and bacon and sausage with lovely maple syrup all over that, man. Hot.
What you call that? I don't mess with those things.
No, I ain't ask you about you. I ain't tell you about you. I tell you what I want.
The bakes can pass, not the pancakes and the sausage like that. The bakes, yeah. But guess what?
What?
You got to import those bakes because I can't cook.
Oh, shucks, man.
Anyway, for bakes and bakes.
Hmm.
Oh, she like pancakes too and sausage too.
Yeah, well, good.
You're all right. You get it.
Oh, good, great.
Sorry, gee, don't think.
Great. At least 3 pancakes, eh? And
Yeah, she would
big
take care of that.
big fat
Sausage.
sausages.
Yeah, she does those things.
That's right. And throw bacon on top of that too.
No, let's get down to the brass tack.
Yeah.
My question to you, sir, and St. Lucia.
Mhm.
For what I've been hearing, everybody out there says, they say that Jacob, which was Joachim Henry, went over to the church because he said that guy said things about him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to answer the question.
Yeah.
If somebody from Conway, Barad, or Graveyard
Had done that.
was the real ghetto to say something about him, would he go after them? I don't think so. He's smarter than that. Okay? I am saying, if the members of the congregation have put a beat down on this man, what would St. Lucia say? Because I personally believe he deserves a beat down. He was damn in the streets, rude. He's a thug. Okay? Walking in the people's church, busting the shoe on the people's church.
Many people would consider that thug behavior. Many people
want to run for parliament.
Many people will consider that thuggish behavior.
St. Lucia, I said, denounce that man and denounce the SLP. I have said already, they should not be on the ballot. And every day they're proving me right.
Yeah.
St. Lucia, they denounce the SLP. And people talk about he should excuse, his child is grieving, he's grieving for his child. Yes, everybody grieves over the child. Everybody loses their children. And people grieve, a lot of people grieve for months and some for years.
Yeah.
When they go through that trap, they do that nonsense. He knew what he was doing. As far as I'm concerned, I think that's organized crime. For a man to leave Cali and go to Forestier, which to me is about 4 miles. I'm an expert. I went to school too long. I think it's about 4 miles.
What days you went to school?
Only Saturdays and Sundays.
Well, let me tell you something. A lot of people went to school on Saturday and Sundays. It's called lessons.
Okay? And this man, and people don't let praise this man. Why in the world he can run for? He run for office.
Caller, let me tell you something. I don't care what anybody says. I am expressing my personal opinion about this. And I believe, I know, because I've spoken to lots of people, that many St. Lucians share the very same opinion. That as a result of what transpired at the Forestier SDA Church on Saturday, that Joachim Henry is no longer suitable to continue as a candidate for the SLP in the upcoming elections. Plain and simple. I ain't putting no water in my mouth to say that.
I heard you had a couple of altercations with...
Well, I don't know. Let's stick with what's there right now.
That's hearsay. We're going to what we know. We're going on evidence.
Yeah.
Because we're in court right now. And the jury is out there. No, St. Lucia, you have to denounce the SLP. The SLP, I've been saying all the time, is poison for St. Lucia. St. Lucia, guys, gentlemen, great leaders like Sir Alan Michael Shaste don't come along every year. Okay? They come along like once every 50, 100 years. This is a chance of more than a lifetime. Because the man is the greatest leader and the best leader on the planet today. Nobody can touch him, not even Joe Biden. Okay? Not even English Prime Minister, I forget his name now. Or Justin Trudeau and those Europeans. They can't test the great man. And Shaste is simply the best. He does things out of nothing. People say he's a magician. The man is loving, the man is caring. The man is a God-fearing person. SFP is not God-fearing. SLP is not God-fearing, said Lucia. The anti-God, I think. Okay? Tell me something, Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
Why is that I realize that all the so-called criminals always deal with the SLP? Do you think that's a coincidence?
Well, I don't know about that.
Do you think that everything as bad as going wrong is on the SLP side? Are they telling the youth, is the SLP telling the youth?
What I think you're referring to is that from way back, I showed it on Tuesday night, and I will say it again. That is why the SLP does not want you to talk about the past, because the past reveals their record, and it reveals their pattern of behavior. And the SLP's past has been mired, to put it nicely, in violence, in innuendo, in supposition of violence and conflict and confrontation. That has been the SLP. Even talking about regular stuff, the underlying tones, the words that they use, always make reference to some sort of altercation, some sort of violence. So we will fight you. Always. Or it doesn't matter. They can't get away from it. And you have to ask yourself, why?
Mr. Williams, this is my time you're dealing with you. Then you're going to tell me, okay.
Yota, it's our time, man. Keep it real.
Listen to me now.
It's our time.
Here's one. A solution living in Bermuda called me, this week or something. He called me, right? And he said, Lucian, tell me something. If SFP was in Bermuda, how many votes do you think they would get, the whole party? How many votes do you think they would get? So I say, 100. You know what he said to me? You know what he said to me, Benj?
No.
He said to me, well, your boss stupid than I thought. This is what the man said to me. You know. He said, Lucian, your boss stupid than I thought. He said about SFP couldn't get one vote. Listen to me. This is a man that was a diehard SFP. This is a person that told me that Alan Shasti that could never be prime minister. And this man said those things to me. They couldn't get one vote. One vote. You could get one. As a matter of fact, you got no further to say. He have his house down there. If they put Kenny and them back in there, he's selling his house and he comes back home. That's what he said to me. He said he's selling his passport. He's selling his passport and they do that. Okay, that's a diehard SFP. St. Lucia denounced the youngsters of St. Lucia. I'm talking from Grosley back home to Viewfort. Denounce the SFP. Denounce the SFP. All they want you to do is cut the grass, drain the grass. Yes, somebody has to do the job. Somebody has to do the job. Somebody has to cut the grass. I will cut the grass. If I had the chance that you guys have today, I would not be in Bermuda. I wanted to better myself, so therefore I left St. Lucia. You understand? And you know how it goes when you come from Conway/Baladian/Valley Road. You're in a good. You know something? You automatically become a Northernarian.
But you've already referred to yourself as a wharf rat.
Yes, I'm a wharf rat. That's why I always remind myself I'm a wharf rat. But nobody they can't tell me what I don't know. And when I hear people like Philip Joker Pierre and those guys talking about the great man Alan Michael Shasta, that's a man that still hug us in the gardens. Hug us in the gardens. Hug. I say hug. Yes, Lucia. Yes, me. I say hug. That's a man that still go in the gutters on the caca for the ball. Okay? All right? That's a man that still come in the gardens. The minute you have a chance to just pay his father and got him working. Okay? Philip Pierre, Kenny Anthony, and your jokers. So Alan Michael Shasta is more solution than any of y'all, because none of y'all ever be in the gardens unless you're driving by going to St. Mary's College. Okay? What y'all call the worst place in the St. Lucia, the gardens, was Sir Alan Shasta playground. But let me get back to my youth.
Yeah.
My youth.
Yeah, make it quick, man. Don't be talking all about when he was in, you know.
My youth. The great man, Alan Michael Shasta, and the dream team is opening a way for all St. Lucians. Look, if I was making $25,000 to $4,000 a month, I would never leave St. Lucia. I can tell you that. I would, and the boys can tell you that. They know. The boys know I would never leave St. Lucia. And don't leave St. Lucia now? Who for? Those guys want to just cut grass for $20 a day because they want to oppressing y'all and depressing y'all, all kind of presses. I say to y'all, be smart. Let common sense prevail. I say to y'all, denounce the SFP. Everyone. Take all of them out. Don't put one of them in the House of Assembly. And one more thing, Mr. Williams. When Mr. Guy Joseph, I expect Mr. Guy, the great politician, the great minister, Mr. Guy Joseph, to take action against Joachim Henry. And one of the reasons why they walk out the House of Assembly is not the Governor General, it's Guy Joseph, the honorable great man, Mr. Guy Joseph, the fair, because they cannot handle him. He makes them look like schoolboys, worse than schoolboys. All of them, they cannot handle him. Do you realize when he was speaking the last time, only one man stayed there, that's Alva, and I think Alva is his good friend. All the rest walk out. The minute they finish speaking, they walk back in. Okay? They don't want to be embarrassed on television. St. Lucia, don't let the SMP pull the wool over your line. Mr. Williams, have a nice day.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you.
Have your pancakes and things, get ready now.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, since I can't make it, you tell your wife to make you some of that this morning.
She would get it. I'll be going to sell it down there by you by FedEx. We're going to frozen it and sell it with FedEx.
You're going to freeze it. Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day. 456-0931 this morning. We have our next call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
I know I'm on the air.
Whoa.
How are you? I'm calling from Labrie.
Good morning. How are you?
Thank you for singing for me last night.
Oh, you're welcome.
I hope you will sing for me again today.
I don't know about that.
Oh, my. So, anyway, I just came from market. When I was walking up,
What did you get me?
I heard a lady talking about the last night show, the First Day Man show that have one program, still talking about Joachim is right.
Yeah.
But the lady, everybody have to understand that we must not let our heart be troubled. Because we know that's what they will say. But the person to give the praise on the flag is Guy Joseph. When a man catch you unprepared, and the way he acted, he never quarreled, he never said anything bad. Somebody caught you unprepared. So the person they're describing him as, that person that is this and that, that's not the man. Everybody saw who he is, who the type of person he is on Saturday. Because any other person would say something or start quarreling and whatever. You know, so I love Mr. Guy Joseph more for that. For that, the way he acted when the man was doing all his show. And the lady for true, I heard last night somebody tell you, she had a flat shoe that looked like kind of white.
White, it was.
Yes,
That's
so
right.
she was dressed for the war, for the battle, for whatever she came to do. But anyway, I'm telling Miss Teresa Actil, I didn't see the children at the market this morning because the daughter is working. Today is Friday. Teresa Actil, bonjour. Jeudi a fait anniversaire naissance moi. Moi 69 years, free score en 9. Et moi ta célébrer, moi content, moi ta vivre. Et moi ça style couillou. Et moi ta remercier Mr. Botay. Pour hier, moi tani l'homme non. Et moi ça si moi te ouais maman la bon matin. Yo te kay di moi mani ou ka jump up. Là ou tan non l'homme quoi. So have a blessed day. But
Thank you very much,
Robert,
caller.
sing a little song for me. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Folks, I just want to put it on the record that I'm not a pastor. Somebody called a while ago, you know, y'all people like to run with story and refer to me as a pastor. I ain't no pastor. I know some of the stuff I say might be very philosoph. But the lady went ahead and read or gave a little sermon or a little prayer or something on air, and we all like that around here. But just want to set the record straight that I'm not any pastor. I'm not purporting to be. I have not presented myself, represented myself, or told anybody that I was a man of the cloth. Good morning. You on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Hi.
Yesterday I was listening and I heard when the lady called to see that guy is wicked and guy should forgive the mister.
Yeah.
I understand that, but first you must forgive somebody who has accepted that they have done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If the person don't believe he has done wrong, how can you forgive him? And two, I don't understand how everybody can see what happened and certain individuals refuse to accept that the gentleman was wrong.
Well, that's people, caller. People have their motives.
Why they say what he did what he did was like right, or he didn't do anything wrong. To me, if the mister was grieving and he was losing his mind and he accepted that he was wrong and that he didn't know what he was doing, I think Guy Joseph can forgive him. But before that, I don't think anybody should go on because himself has not accepted that he has done wrong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Well, this conversation, this talk, this continues to rage on. Continues to rage on. And the people of St. Lucia, because of the people or persons involved, are demanding answers. You need to turn down your radio, caller. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, Champagne.
It's not champagne.
But,
caller, you need to turn down your radio.
Okay.
Keeping it real on Sky FM 93.1.
Okay, morning.
Good morning. How you doing? Let's keep it
I'm
real.
not too bad, and you?
I'm all right.
Okay, I want to send a happy birthday for Mora Abashanet in Labrie.
To who?
Mora.
Mora.
In Labrie.
Okay,
yeah.
Mora in Labrie.
Yeah, Mora, I want a happy birthday from the Actil family, Tiny, Bistiriza, and all the Actil family in Labrie. Okay, happy birthday to you, Mara. And many birthday to see. And the good Lord bless you. Always, forever and ever.
Great.
Okay, et puis, continuez à faire bon travail là, café à la station.
Oui, merci. Merci
oui,
beaucoup.
Ça bon, Chai.
Okay, ça bon. Merci.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Happy birthday to Maura. Cumpleaños feliz a Maura en Labrie. De todos tus amigos, amigas y familia. Maura, happy birthday to you. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, Mr. Norbert.
Morning, sir.
Mr. Jordan, young man, my first time calling. Officially, I think I need to lay my blessings on this invitation.
Thank you very much.
I think it was high time that we as solutions understand the level of idiosyncrasy that continues and hypocrisy that goes on among us solutions who know better and refuse to act on the truth or your conscience, but act on partisanship. Wants to think that, hello, this is my party, I'm going to vote whatever, he or she's right. Even in my own party, which I am a strong flopper, I will say when somebody screws, I say they screw. I think it's the same around the ball. It should be around the ball. Why is it easy to cast remarks upon everybody else but your own friend? They say check your house before you check somebody else's own. So I buy me.
That's right.
Check call. And I think our quote unquote, what you call themselves in waiting, I can't even say the first word, it sounds so distasteful. The so-called whatever it is in waiting wants to pretend as if it is okay that what his esteemed colleague did is right. I believe blatantly that shows the level of, I don't care. We run things.
That's right.
We make the rules.
That's right.
We do what we want. But anything you do, it is absolutely wrong.
How dare you? How dare you?
You cannot be the judge, the jury, and the executioner, sir. That is highly unlikely. That's impossible.
Yeah.
This is a democratic country.
Yeah.
I respect your opinion, so you should respect mine. And for those with you who call this station and they themselves are staunch opposition leaders or representatives or whatever they are, calling this station and saying what they want to say and want to demand on you what should be the right thing. I mean, man, your bloody business. I don't call your station and say, well, so-and-so is right and you should do it this way. When I do it, I do what is right. And the majority, those who have a conscience, are also common sense. Understand, the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
You can't spin it on me. So all these so-called analysts who come on
the gurus
radio and television and be their royals, well and truly, are thinking they are fooling people, but they are only fooling themselves and their esteemed colleagues. On that note, young man, I shall reconvene sooner or later.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thanks for keeping it real. I don't know how much more real you can keep it. Real. Okay. So, now, folks, let me move on now and put it out there. Seems I'm gonna have to kill the lines in a while. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, I wanted to say something this morning. Morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm trying my best as usual.
Do you like rainy days? Has the weather been good to you?
Well, I have to because I deal with the crops, you see.
Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah. I wanted to say something in terms of this whole situation. People, well, not necessarily in power, but being a representative of, of something. It's not the idea of the individual feeling themselves apt or fit for the occasion. It has to do with the outside world that is watching you. Because even if you consider yourself, appropriate for the mission, and you see like CARICOM and these other Caribbean countries, they're looking at the governments here and they're looking and seeing what is happening. So my contribution is that persons of themselves is not the idea of yielding into power, but it's demonstration. What you're demonstrating, right, to others. Because we as a small country, we need aid, we need the assistance of others. And that is why you see most of these Caribbean countries, they make their ministers resign if they find that they're not, properly, suitable
That's right.
for representation.
Yeah.
And we have to be very careful with that. And the other thing I think our people in St. Lucia must recognize is that anything that is brought into law, and whatever government that is there, the law has to be carried out. And what I see is that people neglect that. They do their own thing, and they still want to continue and want to be accepted.
Yeah.
And these are the things that we have to look into and straighten out, be truthful, and know when to back out, when to go in. I think if we do that, we'd be cool here. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. And I'm going to put the phone off for a while now. And, I want to say something, folks. For this entire week, and it still has not abated, the calls, the opinions, the questions about this incident, that church invasion in Forestier, at the Forestier SDA Church last week, Saturday, between 10 and 11 a.m., according to the information that I have. Every talk show, every station has carried at least some article. And they've all had their talk shows inundated with calls regarding this situation. Because the people of St. Lucia are very concerned. What transpired there is very concerning. It's very alarming. And that one member of parliament, a sitting government minister, an elected representative of the people, was at a church, at the podium, on the altar, was pursued, if you will, was sought out. The individual drove from wherever he came from. And of course, that individual does not live in the area where the church is. And apparently, that individual alludes to, based on the evidence which has been presented, alludes to statements that were made sometime in the past. Whether it's the recent past or in years past, he's alluding to statements and actions that were taken before the day in question when he chose to go to the church in Forestier. That is, I think that is clear to everyone. So you have to ask yourself, why on that day? Where was the aforethought? Where was the sensibility? Where was the advice? Because according to the evidence that we see, the individual was accompanied by his wife. We all have to be concerned about that. And when we continue and pay further attention to the evidence, in this case I refer to exhibit video, the individual is heard making certain statements on there about why, the justification for, in essence, why he came to the church to confront, in whatever way or however he wanted to do it. We can only imagine, because what we saw there were members of the congregation subduing his actions. So what really did he want to do? But what has the people of St. Lucia bewildered, kerfuffled, shaking their heads, is the reason given that you were on WhatsApp, you sent me condolences, and then you show it to people and tell them, I'm your friend. As a grown man, a man who wants to take up elected office in St. Lucia, become a minister of government, a parliamentary representative, is so petty. Aided and abetted by his wife, who by all accounts was even more aggressive and loud. I wasn't there. All I'm going by is the video from the church. Now, the individual in question, the endorsed candidate by the St. Lucia Labour Party for Castries Southeast, who also plans on unseating the very same subject of his church invasion. So you want to, well, obviously, his appearance at the church, to put it nicely, had absolutely nothing to do with ecclesiastical or church affairs. So he came to a church to settle an affair which had nothing to do with the church. Can I get an amen? Let me say this again. Joachim Henry went to the church to deal with an issue which had nothing to do with ecclesiastic affairs or church affairs or religion. Very peculiar. And that what he was alluding to occurred in the past. And just recently, and if you saw the video on Tuesday night, another video, he was in the presence of Guy Joseph at one of Guy Joseph's community projects, and he passed him fap, like a zephyr, like a light breeze. If he was wearing a thicker t-shirt, he would have touched Guy Joseph. But he did not say a word. He passed by as if Guy Joseph was not even there, like he didn't even see him. You have been so aggrieved by statements that were made in the past, even before that then encounter. You were so aggrieved by it that you didn't say anything, that the SLP gave you money to campaign, they paid your campaign, they bought a vehicle or paid for a vehicle. Or since when somebody buying a vehicle for you gets you so distraught? Kenny Anthony didn't have any shame about it when he said it, that he was so broke, saying he was so broke that the business people or whatever in the South bought a vehicle for him. He wasn't ashamed to say that. Why are you ashamed to say that? If somebody buys me a vehicle, when I want pusa, yeah man, my friends got together and bought me a vehicle. I don't mind. A message to my friends out there. You know, you all can always take a donation and buy me a vehicle. But this is the ridiculosity of it all. But you know, I'm going to go further than that now. I'm going to go further, folks. Oh, yeah. I'm going to put it out there because Joachim Henry made the rounds after all what transpired there on Saturday last week. He had to have more of his own say. So he appeared on, or at least called, at least one talk show. At least one talk show. And I'll tell you which station it was. He called NBC. So that's a statement of fact. He called NBC. And there was a discussion that ensued on air, live, for St. Lucia, and the world to hear. It's on the record, in his words, alluded to by the host. The voice sounds like him. He has not refuted or denied that it was him. And in fact, reference has been made to that very same interview in the news on that same station. But I want to be fair, folks. I want to be fair. And today, this morning at 7:19 a.m., almost 7:20, Atlantic Standard Time, or if you want to call it Eastern Caribbean Time, plus or minus 4, which means 4 hours later or earlier than GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, or if you want to get technical, the prime meridian, or if you want to be military, Zulu. Well, not quite. Not quite. Zulu, yeah. Zulu is quite correct. And the same way that he was given the opportunity, and he took that opportunity to call NBC. Right now, this morning, it's now 7:20. Folks, I know they're all listening. I am putting it out there right now to Joachim Henry to call the studios of Sky FM now, 456-0931. I don't want anybody to call. Phone is back on for Joachim Henry to call Sky FM so that he could address you on what transpired Saturday morning, somewhere about 10:45 in the morning at the Forestier SDA Church. Now, I would like to ask him a few questions, just like the host did on NBC. I'd like to ask him a number of questions regarding what led up to his meltdown, where he traveled from when he went to the SDA Church, why he felt that location was the appropriate place to challenge Guy Joseph, why did he enter the church in such a manner, freaking out the congregation, interrupting the service, contrary to the laws of St. Lucia, and why is there this big black hole surrounding a licensed firearm which he, Joachim Henry, is licensed to carry? Why is it now out of his possession? I want to give him a few minutes to call, so I'd like nobody else to call. Bisi ukuye exe pa Joachim Henry, na hang up allow. Na by day minute. Na hang up allow. 456-0931. I'm going to be very fair with you. The whole world will be listening, so I ain't gonna come with no monkey business. I will ask reasonable, appropriate, and sensible questions of you, which I will give you every opportunity to answer. fair and square. I want you all to call him. He's up already. Joachim Henry would like you to call. I ain't gonna do no ambush interview with you like some people call you up on the phone. You don't know who it is and surprise you. Try to get you to say something that you would not normally have said. I hope this is Joachim Henry. Puis si c'est pas Joachim Henry, na hang up and low. Oh, say, well, I guess it wasn't him. I give you 2 more minutes. I guarantee you, folks, that I will be clinical, that I will be fair, that I will ask the appropriate questions to Joachim Henry to call here right now. I know they're all listening every day, keeping it real. I will ask you the fair questions, the pertinent questions, the hard questions, proper and to the point. None of that Mickey Mouse stuff. I ain't gonna try to catch you anywhere. I ain't gonna ask you any question that have triple meanings. Straight to the point and fair. Because I think if you want to run for public office in this country, if you want to be an elected representative of the people in our House of Parliament, that you need to set the record straight. At least look the people in the eye, or at least talk to the people. This station is getting there. And the people are there right now listening. You're listening. You have 1 more minute. Don't say I didn't give you the opportunity. I ain't planning nothing. The calls that come in here are all generic. On the spur of the moment. No arrangements for anybody to call. People just call and, whoa. I don't make any plan with any minister. I don't make any plan with any call you hear that comes in here. The people who are calling choose to call in. Any show you see here is planned. And you're well aware of it. Good morning, you're on the air. Are you Joachim Henry? You're not Joachim Henry. Call back in a minute. I'm keeping it real with y'all. He has 1 more minute to call. A prospective parliamentarian, we leave the lines open for him. I'm giving him the opportunity. Giving him the opportunity. I deal with everybody respectfully. If they don't like the truth, they don't like the truth. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And if he decides not to call, because I can't sit here and wait for him all morning, and if he wants to call at any other time during the show. Good morning. Are you Joachim Henry?
I am.
Well, you don't sound like him at all. Call back in a minute. Folks, if he doesn't call today, he has every opportunity to call on Monday morning. He has every opportunity to call on Tuesday morning or Tuesday night on Keeping It Real. And I guarantee you, I pledge to you, that I will ask him fair questions. I will ask him questions that all of St. Lucia has been asking. I'm not going to... What is going on? All these messages coming in. My goodness. Phone's going berserk. Are you hearing that? Okay, I guess his time is up. Hopefully that's him. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
That's me, man. What you want with me?
Okay. Well, I guess you're not Joachim Henry. I doubt he would call like this at this stage in the game. Okay. Well, of course. He has outlived, he has outlived the time to call. So the lines are open now to the regular callers. I'll take 1 call and then I will get into the serious business right here. That's right, folks. I'll get into the serious business right here because we will go through his call-in and his interview, if you will, on NBC Yeah, I have a few clips out of that. And we'll conduct our own analysis of the paralysis together. That's right. Together this morning. I'm telling you, I ain't playing. One thing you can't say is that I'm not fair. I don't give the facts as it is. There we go. 4560931. We'll take one call and then we'll go to the videotape. Well, in this case, it'll just be the audio that you will hear, folks. Very interesting. I was up late last night. Much late. I was here and I was still up going through it. And I guarantee you, folks, there will be more gems coming out of that NBC interview or whatever. Very interesting. And you know, you have to listen to the words, because words are important. Very important. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real. Yeah, I guess that person is afraid to. Come on, make up your mind. Don't be scared. 4560931. Words are very important. And I think this morning here now, the clips that I will play are very, very, very revealing. Very revealing. And you know, the reason why this issue, this church invasion which occurred last week Saturday, continues to be talked about, is number one, I think, biggest thing of all, is the persons involved, or the person who initiated the actions. And also, that it will go down in history, in our history books. There's no getting away from that. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Keeping it real.
Yes, you need to turn down your radio, please.
Yes, I will do that, sir. Yes, I've been listening to your program.
Yes.
Every day, every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first time I'm calling.
Well, you get the bell, sir. Thank you so much for calling.
Yes, and even my 11-year-old son, he likes your program.
No, thank you very much. Tell him I said hope he does
yes,
well at school.
Yes, also I just like sometimes, watch other shows and see, the difference between them. And last night I just watched a clip of Richard Frederick, which, Richard Frederick, everybody know his histories and everything, trying to make it look like it was something else. He did not have anything that he could have said that guy do wrong by starting with guy is making it look like it was more than what was happening at the church. When he watched the clip, it was different and was not. Then the first thing I would say, calling Guy Joseph like the church is a building, not a church, and Guy Joseph is preaching to only his family. But that is not actually the reason that he wants to do, but he knows the reason why. But first thing I will tell Richard Frederick, that he has to be careful, because he knows they used to call him the pit bull. But don't worry, in time to come, they will be calling him the pig bull. A pig will be eating anything that
caller, it's...
Yes, yes, I would like to say that. But with that Joachim and thing, whether he had reasons of what to confront Guy Joseph, I feel there was better ways.
Well, caller, hold on a second. Words are very important, and they give a subtle meaning of validation to things.
Yeah.
Somebody said something, or somebody referred to something. There's no need to confront. Confront is combative. There didn't need to be, and everybody will tell you there was no need to confront. You needed to address. You needed to talk about. So before we let words influence our thinking, I don't think confront has anything to do in this equation.
So true. Well, actually, I was in one of these situations which I had somebody I feel that was my friend, and You know, we've been there eating, drinking together until, you know, escalate. And, you know, I was thinking of him the same way, to go at his home with you and tell him, you know, you're not my friend, I was not. And then when I talk to people and they tell me that they're worth it.
Caller, you get the first impulse, and then you have, as an adult, as an aspiring politician, representative, you say, why? But this is not making sense. Hey, check yourself. That's right.
You know,
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, that could, you know, look bad on me, and even, you know, and especially his wife. His wife's supposed to be, you know, protecting him. Whether he's right, he's wrong, you're supposed to, you know, lighten him as a woman.
Voice of reason.
You know, even though, as somebody said, you know, which I would not mention and say, you know, he probably, you know, controlling that lady. Look at how he was roughing up when even when the lady was trying to cool him down at a point, you know. So she have no choice. But at the same point, as a mother in a house, you grieving your son child, and he's going there and because they must talk about it before he do it. He would say he's going to do it. You would have to sit and talk to him out of it, you know. But it was not done, and people are blaming all kind of stories about it, making look like as though he was grieving his son. I lost my mother, I lost my sister. I'm still grieving. I never go at anybody that say anything about my mother, about my sister, you know, to confront them, or about me.
Well, boy, caller, I don't know why it's a sad
yes,
situation.
People, you know, grieve differently, but why somebody that is closer to God, which you say you are a church member, you go into church, would think of going to that same church and do what you're doing there? You could have called guy the same way he messaged you. You could have respond to him on message that you don't want to talk to him, you don't want to be his friend. And look at what the wife is saying. She was the one that replied.
But caller, that's what I'm just coming to. If you got that reply, you could have sent that message and ended right there.
Right there, and tell him. And I sure if he said that he did not reply, he didn't want to talk to guy, he must have said it to his wife, I don't have nothing to deal with that. And as a man, if I tell you I don't have to deal with somebody, why you as my wife would take my phone and message a person back?
That, you know, caller, that little thing there is just very strange to me.
It is gimmicks.
That's very strange. It does not sound. It does not sound logical to me.
We all know men have a lot of tricks in their sleep, and he will not want his woman to be going into his phone and digging.
Caller, don't indict yourself. You full of tricks.
I'm telling you, because I'm a man. I'm telling you. Yes.
Don't talk for me.
Yes, but you see these things that people don't understand. And actually, the last time the lady called and telling that she's a UWP and what's not, everybody can say they're voting for SLP or UWP. You do not know where the person put their cross or their ticks. And I hate that hypocrisy people keep on doing and calling programs and telling them they are strong supporters of this and strong supporters of that. People do not tell you where they vote. They can be your best friend and they don't vote for you. They can be your son, your daughter, and they don't vote for you.
Well, ask one about that.
Yes, I can tell you.
Ask one. Ask one. His wife didn't even vote for him.
Exactly. And, you know, I've known people, you know, even when Rufus Buski, I know a young lady that was very close, that, you know, close to him, like family. And she said to somebody, she's so close to him, everything she wants to get from him, and she still didn't vote for him. You know, you have to be very on. So when that lady will call and say she's a flamboyant, first of all, why didn't you say to that gentleman, if he come and ask for forgiveness and see his mistakes, and then, you know, the whole congregation or whoever have to give him forgiveness, I sure guys forgiving him already, because guy didn't even take him on.
Anyway, caller, thank you so much for calling in. Hope you have a great day.
Sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for keeping it
I
real.
always watch all the shows.
Thank you very much.
He's my buddy, but he don't even know I'm watching his show.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Have a great day. Okay, folks, I'm going to put this off the hook now. I'm going to bring this down because I want you now to listen to this. It's very, very revealing. And I want you to listen to the words that are said. I want you to listen to the voice of Joachim Henry as he called MBC last week. This first clip this first clip, he was asked what happened. He's given a description of what happened at the church last week, Saturday. I want you to listen very well, very clearly. I want you to listen, folks. Pay close attention to the words. Here we go. Oh, hold on a second, eh? Hold on a second, eh? What am I doing?
And the police officer who came...
Let's go back a little bit. Okay, here we go.
It's basic too, actually, it's basic.
Well, everything I've said there, and the police officer who came to my house left the church, and he said whatever they said and what I said were the same thing.
Okay.
So I gathered that and my wife was there. My wife spoke, so there was nothing.
There was nothing, no derogatory statements or nothing of that nature.
No.
You just wanted to.
I wanted to confront.
And the only time you could have reached the individual was on the pulpit.
I was sitting. I did not go on the pulpit to look for the guy. When I got at the church, I asked for him.
Folks, listen very well to the words. When I got to the church, I asked for him. Now, in the video that's out there, does it look like somebody just, moseyed on down to the went to the church? Hello, is Guy Joseph there? Guy there? Guy's there? I've been around long enough. According to what we've heard, according to what we see on the video, nobody went to the church and just asked. I asked for Guy Joseph. Asking and shouting and making noise and demanding to see someone is not asking. That's why I say words are very important. Listen to the words. Continuing.
They stopped and I asked for him.
But they make it...
So the service stopped. How did it stop? If you just walked up to a church that is quiet, why would it stop? Who did you ask? Did you ask the person by the door who was responsible for the protocols to ask you to hand sanitize? You saw the video of the hand sanitizing station right by the door. You entered the church without a mask. So already you're doing a lot of things that you're supposed to be doing. So why should anybody believe that you simply walked up to the church to ask for Guy Joseph? And then when we look at the video, we don't see any asking going on at all. We see a lot of shouting and accusation. You're nasty! You're the devil! That's not asking. That's not going there to get, you have a decent conversation, to have a peaceful interaction. But let's continue.
Some people make it look like you just stormed there like a madman and...
No, I entered the church. Of course, if you're not going to an Adventist church, it's not your regular place of going church, and you come to church and I was not dressed like I'm going to church, it would appear to the average person that it's out of the norm.
People go to church, it's out of the norm. Well, let's continue. I don't know. Hold on. Because what's going on there is now he's making it seem like because of the way that he's dressed, it interrupted the church service, where everybody would have been looking forward, because you're entering from the main door. The altar, the pulpit, is on the front of the church. The place is socially distanced. You saw the video again. You saw the photos. And everybody's looking front towards the altar. Let's continue.
I understand that, but I'm saying that I asked for him, Guy. I asked for Guy.
The word again, asked. Listen to the choice of words. I asked for him. So if you say you asked, it means you came there reverently, peacefully, and I want to have a is Guy there? Because you notice there's a church service going on, right? You enter the church. You know you were going to the SDA church in Forest here. You know that. When you got in there, you know what was going on. You could hear the people before you even walked in. So if you ask him, is Guy there? Because you don't want to interrupt. Everybody who goes to a church, you don't hear people shouting in the church. Unless it's a little kid, you know. But that's out of the question. You go to the church and you want to see, you get the usher by the pew. You say, is Guy Joseph there? Is Guy Joseph there? If you can't whisper, you have a little deeper voice. Is Guy Joseph there? Tell him I want to see him. That's what asking is. The service is not going to be interrupted. Nobody is going to stop what they're doing if you simply go to the church and ask for Guy Joseph. But let's go on.
Basically, because when I reach at the door, which is not on, well, I know that I go to Adventist church. A small church enough would react that same way. A larger church they would not recognize. But everybody turned back. You know, somebody coming in, it stopped the service. And
how could you stop the service if you asked for Guy Joseph? You say you know the church, you know churches, you are 7 days, you know church. Everybody knows when you go to a church, you ain't shouting. You would go to the nearest person by the door and say, where's Guy Joseph? But, folks, here's the evidence we have before us. And you saw the video again too. That the church was socially distanced. People were 6 feet or whatever apart in the seats because they have these foldable plastic chairs. Guy Joseph was at the pulpit in a bright orange shirt, directly down the aisle from the front door, dead straight and center. Like people say, dead center. Walking in through the front door with light coming in, with light from the windows at 10:45 or thereabouts in the morning. There's no way you can miss Guy Joseph standing behind a transparent podium about 30 feet away from you. You didn't have to ask for Guy Joseph. But I don't know. Peut-être il part bien loin or whatever. But again, recognizing that he went to a church, he said he asked. If you asked at the church, folks, we've all gone to church already. You're looking for somebody in the church or whatever, you walk up to the nearest person by the door, say, you know where Guy Joseph is? Tell me I am wrong. Tell me I am right. Let's listen to the next. Let's continue.
Especially who I am.
Yeah.
You understand, would have caused
the opponent of
as to why, with my wife next to me, would have caused, what is this about? You know? And I...
Let's go back a little bit.
If that is called, not recognized, but everybody turned back, you know, somebody coming in, it stopped the service. And especially who I am,
yeah.
You understand, would have caused
the opponent of
as to why, with my wife next to me, would have caused, what is this about? You know? And I that if that is called disruption, then that's what it is. That is the disruption that I came there, not by invitation. You understand? But that is not the part I want. I really want for persons to understand. How would you feel for somebody to offer you condolences?
Basically,
listen now. Listen now. He came to ask for Guy Joseph, but now he is justifying, listen well, his presence there. How would you feel? So I think he's alluding to that he wasn't very happy about it. But let's continue.
Try and get mileage off
and use the exchange on his phone to seduce people into a friendship. You say that's a friend. Joachim and I are friends. Definition of the word friends, you must want to look at it. But then while you're telling me you are mourning with me, asking me how I'm holding on, you are lying to the same people you say that you're friends. They are believing what you're saying.
What's that?
So basically the vibe there is no politics. It's nothing about politics.
No, that's not politics.
It's just disrespect, you feel?
No, you cannot use, in honor to my son's death, you cannot use my son's death to score political points.
Wow. So then you were very angry. You had to defend the honor of your son. When your son was alive, you would defend his honor. Now he's dead. Nobody will defile that honor. Does that sound like somebody who went there to ask for Guy Joseph? Does it sound like that? But there's more. Oh yeah. There's more. So before we close, this is the question. So before we close, what message do you have for Guy Joseph? Hold on, folks. I'm going to line it up just for you. Stand by. Let's hold it up.
You probably didn't even know him.
So before we close, what message you have for Mr. Honorable Guy Joseph?
I do not have a message for the man. I don't have any message for him except to say, you know, we come, we meet a political system.
Listen.
We meet a country.
Listen.
We want to develop our country. Can we not develop our politics too? Shouldn't we accept it?
So, Joachim Henry is saying that our politics in St. Lucia is not developed, that it's very wanting. But let's hear more. It's very interesting.
If we're not going to leave St. Lucia, the physical space the way we met it, we want to add roads. Couldn't we add something to the politics to make it better, more palatable, so that we develop people? Why is it that we're going to seduce our people in believing lies? It took lies to bring us here as slaves.
So now, folks, like I say, words are very important. Joachim Henry is expanding the discussion to beyond what we're all concerned about, the incident at the Forestier SDA Church. And now he's brought up a bigger dimension about us as slaves, about politics in St. Lucia. And if you talk about politics, you're talking about the history of politics in St. Lucia. You're talking about the United Workers' Party. You're talking about the St. Lucia Labour Party. You're talking about politics in St. Lucia. Words are very important. Let's go.
Deception brought us here.
Deception brought us here.
The sugar plum for the ladies meant them to be raped and women crying. It is only truth and enlightenment that can break the shackles. But if our leaders, if those who came to bring us here lied,
if our leaders, listen well, our leaders, he's talking about St. Lucians. Listen.
And tricked us into coming here. We cannot use lies, the same lies, and deceive our people just to win and believe we're going to free them. I personally believe on whichever side it is.
Whichever side. Listen well, folks. Whichever side.
Politics. And people want to just label politics as being dirty. And it must be corrupt. I do not subscribe to that. I believe that the same way we came and we met 5 schools, we added. We came, we met a few roads, we added. We added more lights.
So people don't eat roads then?
We must also improve on the discourse on how we do this thing they call politics. We
must improve on the discourse and this thing we call politics. Would you consider that the discourse that you were seeking in the church needed a lot of improvement. The manner in which you conducted yourself, the manner in which you invaded the church, the manner in which you disrupted, the manner in which you screamed and made noise and rustled and resisted and pushed people away needs a lot of improvement. Rather ironic. Let's continue.
Proven it. And one of the most important area of development is not to seduce the people by lying to them, because that's how they came here as slaves.
Okay.
Talking about lies, we've heard quite a few lies since the elections of 2016. And lies are very close relatives to propaganda and fake news. What does Joachim Henry know that he's trying to say there in his undertones? Let's hear again. Continue.
Or else, when you go to the constituency and you lie to them, you are telling us that what they did to us to bring us here as slaves was just, you justifying it. It may be hard.
But all of this, folks, is in the context of what happened last week Saturday. And does this therefore justify a WhatsApp message if you want to allude that it was lies? How do you deal with that? Do you barge into a church? I mean, all of this, let us say, all of this is what happened. How can you justify the actions you took? Because it is so childish, the reaction, how you played yourself out, that people from across the board in St. Lucia are shaking their heads at the overblown reaction to what seems to be so petty. And the fact remains that regardless of what you were going through and whatever, the fact remains that everybody has to realize that there are consequences to their actions, that you have to be level-headed, and we're left to wonder what would your reaction be in other circumstances, other situations where you're not pleased about something for whatever reason, rightfully or wrongfully. How will you react? What example are you setting as a leader in this country? Because you want people to follow you. You want people to follow your message, to believe what you tell them, to believe that you're the best thing for Castries Southeast. That's what you want them to believe. So in what way does your behavior, the manner in which you reacted, the manner in which you responded, convince the people of Castries Southeast that you really do possess the qualities to lead them? What they say, lead by example. Is this how you want the young men who have disputes with other people to go about resolving their disputes? What we talk about, what we hear all the time, conflict resolution. Where was the conflict resolution in that? Were you resolving the conflict, or were you creating further conflict? These are the pertinent questions to ask. Let's continue.
But you have to, do not say something that is untrue. I cannot say guys of war. I have no proof to say it.
Whoa, what? Whoa. Whoa. I cannot say that guy is a volley. I have no proof to say it. Whoa. Have people around you been saying different? How would you not have proof if people around you were saying that we have the proof, we have the proof? OMG. I ain't talking about OG, I said OMG. Gotta go back a little bit and come back to that.
But I can say he needs to account. It may be hard, but you have to, do not say something that is untrue. I cannot say guys of war. I have no proof to say it. But I can say he needs to account for the monies that has been in, that he has ruled over.
he has to account for the money that he ruled over. Well, there's the Accountant General's office, there's the Financial Controller, there's the Treasury, because Guy Joseph doesn't sign any checks, and also every year in the estimates of expenditure, and also the leader of the opposition is on the House Finance Committee. The numbers are there, they're available. So he has to account for the monies that he rules over. That's his choice of words. But that is done. And how long has Guy Joseph been in office? 15 years or whatever? Wow. Let's go on for a little bit.
You understand? Instead of going and talk about Joachim, say, well, I was responsible for $200 million. This is what I did with it.
But that's done all the time. I don't understand. Folks, I'll give you an opportunity to call in. Maybe we'll take 1 or 2 calls. This is very interesting. 456-0931. 456-0931. Calls are ready for you. Give me a call. OMG. 104.45. Wow. 104.45. Yeah. I'm telling you. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, good morning, Robert.
Morning, sir.
I've been listening to both of you, and I'm trying to get something put into his son. And I don't know if further in the tip I will head at. But the first thing he talked about was about his son trying to, get political mileage, And this is all I felt if, Guy said something about his son as he passed, that's what I was waiting for. And I'm not hearing nothing like this from him. So if you go to the church to do your political action or what you have to confront a man about politics in a church, I find that is so wrong. People who do not understand about going to a church and cause disturbance in a church, may say it is not easy because the members that you're everybody talking about Guy and Joachim. But the members that is there will never forget that. The little child that had the dream, no one is talking about that child.
Yeah.
This is, the child need to be, she's supposed to be getting counseling. Because the point I'm bringing to you, that will, you see, and hear what she said. All the time the thing was happening, she was waiting to hear a gunshot. Because in the dream, she received a bullet in the head. That's how she talk about the dream. Not one person ever talk about her.
The trauma.
But it is important for people to find out about those people in the church. I saw that and I had this experience to myself. And up to now, I'm keep on saying, I cannot understand these things happen. Why these things, if all of us are child of God, why these things are happening? So people have to take that thing more serious than that. Okay? He caused the problem between he and Guy, but the people in the church are very important. I believe people are supposed to find out what's going on about those people. Because that will haunt them. Any blow that they hear in that church, they all will jump. A wind will cause a window to smash, and they will jump. That's a serious thing there. It's not all, because I listening to that man there, to me, he's totally off completely. Because everybody understands it was something to do with his son. And now the man talking about slave in Africa. Africa? I don't understand that, brother. Anyway, continue.
Thank you very much,
Have a
caller.
blessed day.
Thanks for calling. We'll take another call or two and then we'll go to the critical part of all of this. 456 0931. 456 0931. Account for monies. You know, you're talking about account for monies, and somebody sent me a message there. But no, but can Sean Edwards account for the monies in the minister's account that he set up? This minister's account, there has to be some serious audit done on this account. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I'm calling back again. Mr. Henry's tone, even in this interview that you just played,
This clip of it.
why is he so aggressive even then? Why does he continue to be so aggressive? What is the need for all that aggression? Why? Why can't he speak just like a normal human being? Why is he so aggressive? Have a good day, Norbert.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. We'll take one more call, and then we will get to the very interesting part in all of this. Very interesting part. There we get it all lined up. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, sir. Morning.
I'm a bit confused there. Because based on what I heard on the interview with whoever, I believe with Yadi at NBC, I think right now the people that are close to Joachim Henry, his family, the members of his party, I think right now they are in a close point of getting some kind of help for Joachim Henry. Because the choice of word, like you said, are very important. And the choice of word I'm hearing you using there, it appears as though he himself don't even know what he was saying. He was just talking. He went as far as slaves and all those things.
Yeah.
If that has any place
Relevance.
of what occurred in the Forester Church,
All over the map.
I don't get nothing of what the man was saying in that interview with NBC. Nothing of substance. It leads me to believe that man had another spirit with him while he was giving that interview. And I believe by now his family, the other side of the party, the Labour Party folks, by now they should already have started some kind of counseling for him. Because I believe, and the other thing I would like to hear happen, that they about to ask him or relieve him from that position in that election, because that's going to make things worse for him. I believe by now his mind should be settling down.
Yeah.
Based on the actions he took at the church.
Yeah.
The wife has to get closer to him.
Yeah.
Because the wife was saying that she told him not to go, but she went as well with him because that's the husband.
And when you watch that video.
Yeah, by now the wife have to get closer to him and start telling him, but I did tell you don't do that. Check what's happening now. And both of them need the counseling. Both of them. And I believe by now, people who are counselors in St. Lucia should be preparing to go to this man's house or wherever it is possible and start putting some sense in him, because there was no sense in him when he was traveling from Kareli to the church. There was no sense there. So by now, especially his supporters, the Labour Party guys, by now should already preparing that for him. That is what I'm hoping to hear. And he himself come publicly and denounce what he did. announced what it himself, come publicly, the same way you went to NBC. He can come on your show.
Yeah, caller, you know very well I will ask him
because I noticed
proper
this morning
questions.
you give him the chance to call and he didn't call. He can as well do that.
People want to say what they want to say, that the Prime Minister is coming over here and he's
all that time at NBC.
He's not giving anybody an opportunity. Well, I give him the opportunity today.
I am glad you did that. And by now I'm waiting to hear from himself.
Yeah. Okay, caller.
To tell the nation, the people, what led him to do what he did. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day. Okay. Let's go to the significant part of this there now. Let's go to this part. I want you all to listen. Listen to the words. Ask yourself the logical, the reasonable, the sensible questions here. Because this part here now is very critical. It's the part that I have so many questions about. That raises so many questions. And there's just a big black hole. Listen to this, folks. It's about now the firearm.
There were lots of talk going around that your firearm was confiscated. Did you have your firearm with you?
No, I had no firearm. I keep my I didn't have my firearm on me, and I haven't had my firearm. I keep my firearm secured.
Listen to this very well, folks. I did not have my firearm with me. I keep my firearm secured. Listen to the words very well.
The police came, they spoke to me. The police left. Nobody asked me for a firearm because
So
the
police
police never asked me for a firearm.
Police never asked you
No.
for firearm?
Yes. I gave I'm just on the side of caution. I took my firearm from where it's secured.
Just on the side of caution. Caution from what? From thieves? But you said your firearm was secured. It's been secured for 6 months. Would it be in a safe? Was it in a concrete bunker? Was it underground in a padlocked metal container? Was it underneath your car? Was it on the roof? Was it in the chicken cage? Was it in the rabbit coop? Listen very well. I took my firearm out from where it was secured for 6 months. I had not carried my firearm for 6 months. I didn't have it in my possession for 6 months. Well, where it was secured for 6 months. Listen well.
Because I have not had a firearm on me for more than 6 months. Okay. I do not carry. I have a license for a firearm, but I didn't. I have my firearm secured, and I brought it for the political leader.
I have my firearm secured, and I brought it for the political leader. Why? The political leader doesn't have an armory at his home. The political leader is not a member of the police force. Why would you bring your firearm, since it had been secured for 6 months, that you had not carried it on you, that you did not go to the church with it? That's what you're saying. You were confident enough with where it was secured for 6 months that now all of a sudden on the day that you invade a church, on the day that you're so pissed, that you're so enragé, that you make all of this butin up in the church, you then decide to take your firearm out from where it had been secured for 6 months, where you didn't have a problem with it being secured for 6 months, and decided to bring it to, listen to the words. You decided to bring it to the political leader. Why? Because you thought it was going to be stolen? Because you thought that the location where you had it, or however you had it secured, was no longer safe? And no longer safe from what? Did you believe that it was no longer safe from you? That is the question that pops up right there. That's the question that pops up right there. And why would you believe that taking your firearm to a civilian, to Philip J. Pierre, who has said nothing, why do you believe, or why did you believe that taking your firearm to Philip J. Pierre, who is not an armorer, who is not a certified firearms person. And when I say certified firearms person, I mean in the repair, in the maintenance. He has no facility to secure firearms. Why would you bring it to him? Did you have concerns about your mental state? That's a logical question to ask, seeing the circumstances of what has transpired. Did you have a conversation with Philip J. Pierre because you didn't just show up by his door and say, "Hey, Philip, here's my gun"? Why did you call him? Seeing all that had already happened, why did you call him? At what time did you call him? What did he say to you? How did you get the firearm to him? Did he come to pick it up? Did you meet him in town? Did you meet him in Forestier? Did you meet him in Carolee? Did he come to your house? Did somebody come to get it from you for him? At what time was that? Did he sign a receipt from you saying he received firearm at XX time, serial number XYZ, with how many rounds of ammunition? Because that's the responsible thing to do. Because I'm not saying anything like that, but sensibly, being a former police officer, a firearm for which you are licensed, you, according to what you said, are handing it over to another person who is not authorized to have your firearm. Was the firearm loaded? How many rounds of ammunition were in it? And now Philip J. Pierre has to say what he did with that firearm. How did he secure it? Did he put it in his waistband? Did he secure it in the house? How? Was it in a locked room? Was it in a safe? Was it in the foul coop? At what time did he receive it? And then we here now come into the equation. Claudius says that he is the one who got the firearm from Philip J. Pierre. And he brought it to the police sometime after 5 p.m. How did Claudius Francis receive the firearm from Philip J. Pierre? At what time? Did he sign a receipt for it? Did he make a note of the serial number? How does he know that the firearm that he received from Philip J. Pierre is the same firearm that was given to him by Joachim Henry? Or reportedly or supposedly given to him. How does he know that? Did he make a record of the serial number? Did he check the ammunition which was in the firearm? Where did he receive that firearm from? Was it brought to him by Philip J. Pierre? Was it brought to his house? Did he meet him in the boulevard to get it? Was a courier sent? Was a friend sent with it? At what time did Claudius Francis receive the firearm, and at what time exactly did he deliver it to the police? All of these are very pertinent questions which have not been answered. These are questions that I have. Why did Claudius Francis believe that Philip J. Pierre having the firearm was a reasonable thing to happen, that he had to continue and bring it to the police? Why didn't Philip J. Pierre call the police? Why didn't he bring it over to the police? Was he at home? Was he not at home? Was he in Vieux-Fort? See all of these questions that have been opened up here now? And now you see folks, all police, you know, I'm not saying anything, I'm just asking the logical questions, because when you're investigating, when you're querying, when you're questioning, when you're trying to get to the bottom of everything, you ask questions. And I find it very, very, very questionable. I find it very, should I use the word dangerous, very concerning, that your firearm, Joachim Henry's firearm, which had been, in his own words, secured for 6 months, he had not carried his firearm in 6 months, was secured, that he thought it necessary to remove his firearm from a secure place, based on his own words, and give it to somebody else, Philip J. Pierre. Why did you believe that it was necessary, and why did Philip J. Pierre believe that it was the best thing to do at the time, under the circumstances, to get your firearm? Did he agree? What made him agree that it was the thing to do? Did he have concerns about your mental health? Did he have concerns about what transpired that day? Did you yourself, Joachim Henry, have concerns about your ability to control yourself? And therefore thought that even if your firearm was in a secure place, that the best thing to do was to remove it from your custody, from your control. These are the questions to ask. So then when we have to look at what transpired in the church, when we look at what was on the video, is it reasonable to conclude that the possibility exists or existed, very much so, that the firearm may have been involved if you became further deranged or further influenced by emotion? What was your concern? Why did you think it was necessary to do that? Let's continue.
But no police.
So you brought your firearm to the political leader?
Yeah.
But why to the political leader?
Well, he asked me, he spoke to me.
Oh, he spoke to you?
He spoke to me.
So?
You know, so he said to me, he'll hold it secured.
Oh.
I do not know if he probably would not, maybe he will not hold it, maybe he would give it, he can give it because he doesn't have a license to hold it anyway.
Yeah.
You understand?
So maybe he handed it to the police.
Because I do not think he has a right to secure it, but no police asked me for my firearm.
But I seen the report there that then that report is false. It's saying that your firearm was confiscated.
No, the police did not ask me for my firearm. No, and I carry a license firearm and I did not have it. The police left. They asked me a question and they left.
And when you came to the church, you didn't have it on you?
No, I don't. I tell you, I have not carried my firearm on me for months.
But they make it look like you were. I don't know. They're giving a bad impression of you. The way when I read.
They giving a bad impression of you? Should I really respond to that? Let's continue, folks.
Through this. Yeah, when I read through this news,
what I've said to you, my brother, deception, some truth mixed with lies creates deception.
Wow, 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 wow. Some truth mixed with lies creates deception. What jumps into my head? It's every Thursday night. What jumps into my head is since 2016. Deception. Lies mixed in with a little truth, propaganda, fake news. I've said it all along. Joachim Henry has validated what I've said has been going on with the SLP for the longest while. Seriously? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And this is what a lot of our politics is about.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Wow. Like Champagne would say, wow. This is what a lot of our politics is about. He's talking about politics in St. Lucia, which includes the St. Lucia Labour Party. Wow. Let's go on.
You know, flashing mirrors, giving the perception of something that's not. I didn't have my firearm on me. I carry a licensed firearm. The police came, they spoke with me. They left and they said they'll get back in touch with anything. I gave my firearm to the political leader, and the political leader, I do not know, he may have passed it on because I do not think he can keep it because he doesn't have a license for holding it. The license is with me. So he may have done what I do not know, but no police asked me for my firearm.
Of sound mind. Listen to him, understanding very well because the license is with me. But you still gave it to him because you just admitted that you know he was not authorized to have your firearm. You just said it. But you still gave it to him. What was so pressing at the time? What was so urgent that you handed your firearm over to Philip J. Pierre?
Anyway, Mr.
And that's the end of that clip. Folks, 456-0931. This firearm thing has so many questions to be asked and answered. And what has been said has opened up so many holes, especially in the context of what transpired at that Forestier SDA church, folks. You see how deep this thing is going now. Good morning, you're on the air, let's keep it real.
Morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir.
So, since Joachim gave his firearm to the political leader, I have a number of my friends who is firearm holders, and they have a license for holding a firearm. So, at any point in time, they can just give it to me to hold for them.
Caller. So you know, when the police investigate firearm issues like this, the first question you ask yourself, is somebody trying to create an alibi? Because where's the proof? Because nobody there is authorized as a police station or whatever. Because, I'm just saying here, it's the logical question to ask. Suppose the firearm had been used, brandished, whatever. I'm not saying that's the case, I'm just putting it out there. And now you're trying to create an alibi, if you will, or a plausible deniability that, hey, I gave my firearm at 1 o'clock or whatever to this person to hold for me. So whatever happened at 9 o'clock or at 11 or at 2 o'clock could not have been me because I gave it to somebody else.
So the next thing now for number two, tell or show the public is firearm laws. Because I don't think my friends can give me their firearm to hold at any given point in time.
Caller, you see the ants nest. You see the ants nest that has been opened there in this thing, eh? You see the ants nest there?
That's what I wanted.
But you know, caller, where our beagles, our journalistic beagles out there? Where are they? To ask those questions about that.
Those questions were not asked at the time by the host of that show.
But even up to now, where are they? This was so public. Where are the people asking those questions about that? Where are the people going and dig into the law and find out how you can hand over weapons and who you can hand over to and who's authorized and not authorized and all of that?
Madness.
Uwaikuma.
Anyway.
Thank you, caller. Have a great day. Thanks for keeping it real. 456-0931. 456-0931. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real. You need to turn down your radio, please.
Yes, Norbert. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
At any time you have somebody's dropping in a station, that person must give you the license for the firearm. For the police to take note of who it is, you understand? To record it.
Hola.
So how can the man say he has his license and on him and give Philip J. Pierre the firearm without the license?
Caller,
When you reach the station, what you will tell the police?
Caller, I don't know, boy. I don't know.
But you're how many years in the force? You know about that.
Yeah.
Tell them about
There's
it.
a lot of questions. Lot of questions there, caller. Lot of questions. Lot of questions.
You going and pay for somebody.
Caller, let me tell you something. Even if you are going to secure your firearm at the police station, let's say you're traveling, you can't go on the plane with it, so you can go to a police station to put it in for safekeeping. You have to show your license. They have to check every round in it. You have to sign. You have to get a receipt.
See if the license is paid.
Everything. To see if you have a valid license. If the question to ask now of the police is whether his license was valid. Joachim Henry's. You see the questions that are coming up in this thing? Was his license valid at the time when he had it secured? Okay. Was he trying to get the leader of the opposition to bring it in for safekeeping because he realized at the time that whatever transpired, that his license may have not been up to date? Caller, you see the questions? You see the questions that are coming up, eh? Okay. And then he get caught just from this. The question I have, caller, is was Joachim Henry's license for that firearm valid at the time? That is the question I'm asking there right now.
Oh, St. Lucia?
Huh.
What?
Where's the up to now, Philip J. Poko Vini on Andre Paul? That was it. All of these questions that are being asked, and I think the police now should be asked those questions. Was Joachim Henry's firearm license valid at the time the altercation occurred? At the time he handed over his firearm to Philip J. Pierre? At the time that Philip J. Pierre then subsequently handed over a firearm to Claudius Francis, which was supposedly the same firearm?
So how can the police know that is the firearm that's registered? How come? You don't have the license to show the number of the firearm? Oh, to St. Lucia people. What?
I'm just asking the logical questions that pop into my mind. Okay? I'm just asking the reasonable questions. Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. 4560931. Gonna take 2 more calls and that'll be it. We have our next call. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, good morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Norbert, you realize we just had our first pink moon, pink full moon for the year. Maybe the first in a long time. Now, if that incident on Saturday had occurred 2 days later, I would have attributed it to the phase of the moon. You know the base word for lunar.
Yes, lunatic.
And lunatic and all that. Yeah. But what this interview, so to speak, the clips that you played, what is that highlighted is the deficiencies in some of the people who put themselves up for office.
Serious deficiencies being highlighted.
The guy is condemning himself with his own words. And this is a man who has served in the upper house of our country.
A senator.
That is a very, very serious concern. I cannot believe the thing that he said, the crimes that he already admitted to, that he has committed.
I tell you, when I heard it, I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
I don't know what's this party is going to the dogs. But anyway,
caller, whoa. I think you better clarify yourself that you were using some type of analogy before people say that you're calling them dogs.
No. I think our listeners are much smarter than that.
Okay.
They know what we meant.
Yeah.
But Norbert, you missed a trick this morning.
What's that?
You cannot catch flies with vinegar, as the saying goes. If you really wanted the guy to call, you should have asked the minister, Guy Joseph, to be in the studio.
At the station.
Then I'm sure he would have called, because that's who attracts him. Anyway, we'll talk later.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Thank you. We'll take one more call, and then I got to roll. We have that other call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, with that last caller there, I find a real good platform open for us to discuss something serious. I really like that thing between you and him. That's what television is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my opinion, the over-analysis is the paralysis. Okay? Now, the paralysis, well, now I say, well, probably is the battle and probably the repercussions, and when you add it up, you understand, probably there are things that the media doesn't cover properly, like that incident and so many other things, eye-catching, but, sometimes, we still lack headlines and we still continue discussing. People who, like Philip J.P., who already have shown, his capacity to even function on an ordinary day. But all that kind of pressure, I'm happy that, I'm from One Report, right? Me good enough. Okay, and right now the polls are covered with red, gold, and green.
Yeah, caller, let's stick with the issue at hand there. We have people who want to call there. You're going all over the map there with me.
We're on the last call. I'm just trying to draw a real...
We'll take another call, 4560931. Every time you call, you're just all over the map. You're not saying anything specific. You're just wasting time. There are people who want to call. I'll take two more calls, 4560931. Don't waste time. I don't have time for that. I'm keeping it real with you. 4560931. Every time you call, you're just all over the map. You're not saying nothing. You're going round and round, ring a roses. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
No, but regarding the
I don't have time for you today. 4560931. Give me a call. I really don't have time for you today. I ain't going round and round and round. The two of you in a row is... I can't take it. 4560931. And I didn't even flush you today, so you can't go and say I flushed you. 4560931. I just can't take it. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Mr. Williams, morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Doing good.
I see two people trying to spoil your day.
I don't have time for that today.
Mr. Williams, I listened to the man's interview.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that he said that after the police come, he gave his firearm to the political leader.
Yeah.
And he said it was secured for 6 months.
Yes.
But can we believe that? Can we trust that?
Well, I don't know, caller. That's what he said. That's what he said.
After the fact that you deliver your firearm to your political leader, meaning that there is a possibility that you had your firearm on.
Well, there's a possibility, but he said he didn't. So let's just stick with what we can reasonably ask.
He said he didn't, but we cannot trust that. Because at the
well, you don't know.
At the end of the day, Mr. Williams,
yeah.
What you are saying is that the law of firearms is that you're supposed to have your licensed firearms on you at all times.
Well, I don't know the law says anything like that.
Okay. Now, the other thing is, to my knowing, is that if you have a firearm and you're going to deliver it to somebody, you have to bring it to the police station.
Caller, you know what? That should be done in person. However, I am not going to preempt anybody. I think we should go to, and when I say we, I'm not talking about me and you, but seeing the questions that have been raised about this, that one of the so-called journalists out there should ask the police, should query the police on what the procedure is, on what rules or laws may have been broken in the whole play out of what Joachim Henry said about how his firearm got out of his possession. We need to get clear and concise guidance on what should have happened and not what we want to speculate, to give the authoritative source of that information, the police, to make a statement on that. But nobody's asking these questions. This interview is days old. Qui question yo ka mande about firearm la? Rien.
Exactly. Mr. William, what
How many of them gone up by the church there to get some footage to see how far off the road you had to drive? No one except me. None.
Yes, exactly. So what you are saying is that, Mr. William, people must speculate. Because at the end of the day, listening to that interview, people must
Caller, there's
speculate.
more, you know. There's more. I ain't dealing with it today. There's more in that interview.
No, because it leaves you. That leaves people. That leaves people wondering, Mr. William. That leaving you wondering as to what happened. Because if you can have that lousy interview, okay, that you can say if that man was saying that in court, by now he would have been in jail.
I don't know.
Because everything you said is wrong. And I cannot understand, Mr. William. I believe that we, solutions, have to take a stand and see that that thing get resolved, and the police has to do what they have to do to get to the bottom of that thing. What time that firearm?
You know what I want to know, caller? The first question in all of this, before we even get to the pertinent questions about the firearm, the first question about the firearm, number one, was the firearm license valid? Or did Joachim Henry have a valid license on that day for the firearm that he handed over to Philip J. Pierre? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
Well, I am saying, Mr. William, and why Philip J. Pierre? Why not the police? The police
and the police officer was there and questioning
and the
him.
police was there. Why did not the firearm to the police?
Why not say, officer, you know what? Under the circumstances, you know what? I want you all to have my firearm before anybody say X, Y, Z or whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
That is what it is, you know. Because you consider the police came to you and the police had a talk with you on everything, but the police never gave you, asked you for the firearm. You know you have the firearm, so you're telling the police, you know what? Here's my firearm. Here's the license for my firearm. And then the police will do what they have to do with it. But you call your leader and you give it to him? I don't know.
Well, caller, I tell you, a lot of questions to be asked there, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Williams, I'm telling you, that is what it is. But I'm telling you, everything that happened there happened wrong. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Okay, thank you very much. 456-0931. 456-0931. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr. Norbert.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you should hang out on your callers if you do like that.
Don't call and tell me what to do around here. If you're not contributing, then don't call. Don't tell anybody what to do around here. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning
Norbert.
to you.
Keeping it
Morning.
real.
Yes.
I am not going to talk about the gun. The only thing I want to say pertaining to the gun is I read a news item on one of the online news agents that the commissioner of police said that it was okay for somebody to bring in that firearm. So my suggestion to you, just a suggestion that you probably...
Say that again. Say that again. The police commissioner said what?
That it was okay for somebody to bring in that particular firearm. I read it. I know.
You read?
News,
where did you? Where
news
caller? Where did you read
well.
that? Caller, where did you read that? Where did you read that?
I think you need to check the Loop, St. Lucia Times, and St. Lucia Times or the Loop.
Caller.
Or St. Lucia Star. One of those on the Facebook live.
Yeah. The big question that I have is on the validity of that firearm license. Whether
Yeah, I understand that, and that's why I was suggesting to you if you could probably call the commissioner and ask him those questions.
caller, I will investigate that. I will
Yeah.
absolutely investigate it.
Okay, so I'm moving on from that. As I listened to the interview, I watched part of the interview when he had just gone called. But what I want to say is, he did that interview the same day. What I sympathize with Mr. Joachim for, he lost his son. Yes, you're grieving, but I don't see the link. There is no link in what he did, and the reasons that he gave it for me deceitful.
Weak. Very weak.
I beg.
I said it's very. The reasons, the justification is weak.
Yes, and as I listened to you playing those thank you, Mr. Norbert, because we need to know. Some people are saying, "Oh, get over with this now, get over with this now." But I am saying, if it was Mr. Guy, if it was him that had lost a son, what would they have done? They would have been all over
hell and damnation.
Countries that not even in the world.
All types of publications would have been written about this
They would have
youth
been
hate
all over
in
the
China,
man.
all over, everywhere.
The reporters would have been all up in his face. And Mr. Joachim, he did that interview the same Saturday, the same day of the incident, and look at what he said. He said he implied that he went calmly.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that he did that not knowing that there was a videotape to come out. He did that not knowing there was a video. He basically lied and said earlier
He went to
that
ask.
his wife told him not to go. Then he's saying in the interview his wife was beside him. He came into the church and explaining these are lies, and we need to know. We need to hear those things because he's aspiring to represent us in the house. This is a man that's a public figure.
Yeah.
If it was an ordinary little man, they call us guy, they call us thug, he would have paid the price. Why not?
Oh, he would have been locked up already.
Exactly. Why not stay on this thing? Because this man is he wants to represent us in the house. That's what we want to represent us in the house. A man who is deceitful. He never believed that there was a videotape. He probably didn't see. And I thank the person who made that videotape, because today they would have been saying all kinds of lies.
Somebody said
probably
yesterday.
would even say Mr. Guy Joseph answered him too.
Somebody yesterday said that video is just like the George Floyd video.
Yes. Yes, so I thank you, Mr. Norbert, for bringing the truth to light. And we don't care what anybody say. And I want to send a message to our St. Lucian people. Stop the color thing. Stop the color thing. We are not on color. This man is aspiring to be representing us in the house. Whether it's SLP or UWP, if it was Mr. Guy Joseph that did it, I don't think we would have condoned that. Okay? So stop the color thing, because it's SLP and all of the condoning of the lawlessness. Stop the condoning of the lawlessness and be truthful. Be truthful and stop making excuses for Mr. Joachim and saying he's grieving. There are many people who have lost loved ones as well. We are not taking that away from him. But I remember when his son died, everybody, whether it's on the station or many people I know that are supporting the UWP, people have been feeling it for him. Okay? But he's not the only one who has lost a son, and you got to use that excuse. And I want to say, I think he's the one using his son for political mileage, the death of his son. Thank you, Mr. Norbert.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real. Take one more call this morning. Got to get out of here. Champagne in the morning coming up at 9 o'clock, folks. And also to remind you that the Badlil is closed at this time. Please use alternate routes if you have to get to the north, to Castries, or down to the south. The Badlil is closed to the public in both directions because of a landslide there yesterday, which also took with it part of the roadway. The Badlil is closed. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Hi. I want to make a contribution on what that I just heard on the air.
Yeah.
I feel what they're saying there, I am not saying the man is not grieving, but what the man did there, that is patheticness of him. He is, because how many times it is the same Labour Party, which is the district rep of Beaufort North, has been saying Mr. London and us have had money given away. That same thing that he went to the church and do. They have been saying the same thing toward us, and thanks to Sky FM, you guys, that you'll give us the opportunity to defend ourselves. Why couldn't he do the same? Why is the church? Right? They even had saying that when the PM came, it's a community called Server in Grace. We had money given away to the people in T-shirts. Wasn't that a lie? And you, the leader who wants to represent St. Lucia, who wants to stand up and say you all want to lead our people, you are standing up and condoning that attitude. That wasn't grief. What if we took it in our own hand and go to find out what church that the district rep of Beaufort North was going and do the same? How would it come out? How would you? And I want to know one thing. Why did he give the firearm to the leader? Did he have any intention of using that firearm? This is the question we have to ask.
A lot of questions, caller. A lot of questions. Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real.
Yeah.
Have a great day. I'll take one more call. Coming up at 9 o'clock, Champagne in the Morning for today, Friday, 30th day of April, last day of April, 2021. We're going into, tomorrow is May. It's a holiday. And just to remind you folks, the Badlil is closed. If you did not know, the Badlil is closed because of a landslide yesterday, and works overnight in trying to get the situation rectified. The Badlil is closed. Just to let you know, public advisory, Badlil remains closed. The Ministry of Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labor advises the general public that the Badlil Road remains closed to all forms of vehicular traffic until further notice. This is in the interest of public safety, and restoration works continues on a section of the road compromised by a major landslide. Drivers are encouraged to use alternate routes. The Ministry of Infrastructure appeals to citizens not associated to the ongoing works to avoid visiting the area as the risk remains high. Further updates will be provided during the day. And that's from Shannon LeBon, Communications Officer in the Ministry of Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labor. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning.
Morning.
Jesus Christ is Lord. UWP has to go. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. Well, I don't know where that fits in the discussion and what Jesus Christ is Lord has to do with that. But, you know, people feel that they want to express themselves in the way that they want to. I don't know whether that got much traction there, caller, or any at all. We'll take one more call. 456-0931. Champagne is just about getting here. 456-0931. A lot of very pertinent and important questions have been raised, and I don't think this situation is going to sleep anytime soon. The implications, the concerns that St. Lucians have, the implications for politics in St. Lucia, for people interactions in St. Lucia, as examples to our youth. We talk about the youth, about conflict resolution. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real. You're the final caller.
Yeah, morning, no, but
morning.
The lady said that UWP have to go. You should have flushed her. Why you didn't flush her? Flush her for me, please.
You want me to flush her for you?
Yeah.
Cause, you know, some people are just I don't know. Some people are
Just calling the program to talk nonsense. Say UWP have to go. She will go first.
Flush her, man.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day. We'll take one more call. I want to get a little substantive thing going on there, before I call it quits today. 456-0931. Whatever you say, you're going to be the last. 456-0931. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, morning. I agree with the caller before the last.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
WP have to go.
You say that, caller? And guess how you going today? That's how you going. Obviously somebody who needed some credit on their phone. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Use the plunger for our
Yeah, boy, I tell you, it's a big plunger, boy. You had to use a big rock to send that down.
Use the plunger. Because she talk about herself. Talk about the SFP. The Antichrist. Use the plunger. Go for the big one.
Caller, you see what happens when people want to have... I don't mind if you have a differing opinion or whatever. I've always said that. I've always allowed, but you do it respectfully, and you make sense with the issue being discussed. You call and you make a fool of yourself. How by just saying that. Yeah.
I'm saying to Sarusha, do not forgive that guy. George Henry, he's going to suffer the consequences. He and the SFP have to go. They're going to step down. They don't leave us nowhere. Okay? Don't forgive them. Swear with them.
Thank you very much, caller.
Use the plunger, man. Flash and plunge again.
Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day. Thank you. Well, folks, we've come to the end of another morning edition of Keeping It Real. Of course, on Fridays, Minerva Ward is supposed to be here, but she had some other issues to deal with, so she couldn't make it this morning. I was hoping that she would get here during the show, but she will have to do all her splaining on Tuesday. Okay, we'll take that one. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
We must speak.
Goodbye to you, man. Stop being a nuisance. You just... There you go. That's where you get it today. You can go call your friends and tell them you got flushed again. Gotta give you another one. I'm using the plunger on you. I think the three of you are all in the same room. The three of you are all in the same room, and you're all using the same phone to call. Right? Yeah, that's what it is. Get something to do, constructive. Yes, folks, another morning edition of Keeping It Real has come to the end today. When they call like that, they're listening. That's right. Instead of listening to the jokers on the other side, you come here to get the information, the facts, the evidence, and the logical discussions. That's what you do. Just keeping it real with y'all. You know that. Thank you so much, folks, for joining me once again. Right here, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Mondays to Fridays, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And of course, sometimes into overtime. The morning edition of Keeping It Real. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Tomorrow is going to be a holiday, is it? May Day. It's a holiday. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you have a wonderful holiday tomorrow. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget, the Bad Lily is closed until further notice because of a landslide over there yesterday. Please use alternate routes. If you want to come up the West Coast or if you want to stay home today, whatever, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem with the boss because of the situation there. That's it for now. So long. Hope you have a wonderful day. Clouds still over St. Lucia. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, I'm Norbert Williams. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minerva Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it.
Bienvenue à sous Sky FM 93.1 et puis Dr. Sigwe lundi pour vendredi. Ça c'est 4h30 pour 8h au soir. Côté Dr. Sigwe ka encore nous. Côté nous ka discuter qui ça qui a fait en pays. Nous aussi à sous Facebook et puis channel 115. Ça c'est DVD TV. Join-moi lundi pour vendredi à sous Sky FM 93.1 et puis Dr. Sigwe encore nous.
Prime Minister, we all love you.
Yes.
You have a vision, God give it to you.
Yes.
And you
We're happy that Mr. Birch will be able to serve us to the extent and serve us very well, which I see to myself that's someone that will be able to work for us.
Mr. Birch, I am wishing you the best of luck in the upcoming election. We love you, we are there with you, we are supporting you. And what can I say? I wish the United Workers' Party all the best in that election. Thank you, Butch. Thank you, my Prime Minister. We all love you.
Yes.
You have a vision, God give it to you.
Yes.
And you is the best Prime Minister we ever get in St. Lucia.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bienvenue à sous Sky FM et puis ring the bell 93.1. Limo ici là c'est 4560931. Moi ici là tous les jeudis, vendredis, samedi 8h jusqu'à 10h soir. Moi aussi à sous GVD TV et puis Facebook Sky FM, matchez ça et puis Blamicall.
My mother sent us back. It was out of his breakfast to give us something. Still good.
Things were very difficult with my parents, and my mother opened a small bakery in the Castries area.
Because my father do everything he could do for me, not for himself, for me, personally. And from there, when I see my mom from there yesterday, and I just remember my mother and my father every day, how they take it so hard to bring us up. And I seen from today there, I have two disabled children from mother. The mother asks for freedom, and they don't want that freedom, you know.
Hello, welcome to the program Champagne in the Morning with yours truly, your favorite guy, Champagne. Join me here every morning from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. We also live on GVD channel 115 and live stream on the internet. Join me as we discuss all of the current events of our beautiful country and around the world. You too could get into the program by calling in 456-0931 or 485-0931. Thank you for tuning in. Join me 8 a.m. to 12 noon.
Hi everyone, I'm Amira Sere and I'm a student at the Monipo Pasias Combined School. I'm in grade 6 and my teacher is Miss Stanislas. My favorite subject would be math. I don't normally like it, but my teacher makes it finds a way to make it fun. I also love the positive quote she put up all over the walls. It reminds me to keep going. Also, the new wing is very impressive. The balcony is very large, so at break time I can eat my snack and go for a nice little walk. I also like the size of the classroom, so I'm not sticking on anybody because 6 feet apart. Before, it was a rocky ride coming to school when I normally take the bus, but now the drivers don't have any complaints now that the district rep fixed it. Before, it was like a rocky, stony road, a dirt road, but now that they fixed it with some concrete and nice tools, it's a smooth ride. I may even fall asleep. Thank you, Dr. Rigobert.
Well, Fortuna Belrose, I don't have no problem with her. I think she's the right person in that time for the right job and to do the right thing, what we always wanted.
So when we talk about members on the opposite side wanting to do some kind of audit, I have to say to you, your march would be a great place to begin. What was the purpose of that? I mean, did you not know that despite the fact that we were going off a state of emergency, that the whole region was still in a state of alert? And that this anxiousness to go out and show people that, I think, what was it called? The greatest march ever in the history of St. Lucia. So it was never about the people, it was always about yourselves.
Me could know family. Mamai me could know. Tune in to GVD TV 115 and Facebook Live this and every Tuesday for Let's Talk with Auntie Gail, where we will discuss what is happening in our constituency and the progress we have made so far. Anu pale epi Auntie Gail, Tule Madi asu GVD TV channel yon sek. Me could not, we've got this. Let's talk. Nous tout c'est yon famille and me could know.
I have every intention to assist in whatever way, in whatever capacity, in wherever I can for the advancement of the people of Beaufort North. I couldn't believe Beaufort North in 2021 still have households that do not have pipe-borne water. But as the current government under the United Workers' Party, they did everything they could to get pipe-borne water for the people of Fonkapesh. And now that the people of Fonkapesh are enjoying this precious commodity, as we say, water is life, and that is a success story. And kudos to the government, the people of Fonkapesh, and by extension Beaufort North, they are extremely happy.
Crossfire, discussing the issues. Norbert Williams, Champagne, Dr. Secret, and Ring the Bell. Thursdays, 8 p.m. on Sky FM and GVD TV. Don't you miss it.
Hello, welcome to the program Champagne in the Morning with yours truly, your favorite guy, Champagne. Join me here every morning from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. We also live on GVD channel 115 and live stream on the internet. Join me as we discuss all of the current events of our beautiful country and around the world. You too could get into the program by calling in 456-0931 or 485-0931. Thank you for tuning in. Join me 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Hello, welcome to the program Champagne in the Morning with yours truly, your favorite guy, Champagne. Join me here every morning from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. We also live on GVD channel 115 and live stream on the internet. Join me as we discuss all of the current events of our beautiful country and around the world. You too could get into the program by calling in 456-0931 or 485-0931.